Hello, hello, here we go. Let's see, is the microphone working? And how loud is it? Okay, I think it looks good. We are just gonna turn down the music and just go ahead and get started. There we go, the music should be a little lower. Hey, what's up? How's it going, everybody? I'm checking all the sound levels. There has to be a way to do this that like doesn't involve me like constantly not looking at the screen over here, because I'm like changing all the levels and everything and looking at it on my iPad. Oh, it's Kevin. How's it going? Using your other account since you purchased YouTube Premium on this one. Ooh, smart choice. What swayed you? Why'd you decide to get Premium? Okay. Did the music completely stop, or did I just turn it down way too much? I wonder how people like actually do this with like more what is it, like more people behind like a live stream or anything. Okay, I'm like, okay, yeah, okay, just checking. You can still hear the music, but it's more in the background. Okay, but hey, how's it going, everybody? Got everything set up? Because I like, forget how I do this every other week or so. Okay, just checking one more time that everything says like stream is healthy, which is good. That's what we're looking for. Okay, so what will we be doing today? So we are going to be working on the expense tracker app that we've been making for the last, I don't even know how many weeks. It's been a minute. And we will be sending data from the iOS app to our Vapor backend. So to do that, we are going to be, we have to get the backend all started up, and we will just pretty much get into coding. So let me check. I actually need to open a couple things still. Let me do, and I need to start Docker because I have not done that yet. Okay, Docker. Ooh, I don't even have Docker running on my computer yet, so we should get that going. So Kevin, you listen to YouTube videos when you're getting ready in the mornings and showering, and you hate when ads run in the shower. I have done that, and I feel that. That's a good reason, because, like, and it's not just like ads that are like 30 seconds. It's like the 2-minute long ads about like something that you don't need, and you're just like, this doesn't end. And I need to, of course, plug in my laptop because it's dying. Okay, so that is all plugged in. I'm going to turn the volume up on my own, so I'm like, it's confusing because I kind of hear myself echo like a couple seconds later, but it's like the best way to check that everything is like still going. Exactly, ruins the whole video. Right. Okay. I think I still have the music in the background. I'm gonna turn it up so I can like at least hear it in the background there. Okay, I can hear it. Is it too loud though? Because you know, you always want like my voice to be the loudest and then the music. But let me I opened Docker. It's running. Okay, good. Your voice is so sweet. Aw, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, let's get Docker running. Docker compose updb. And we'll switch to the monitor. There we go. So I always forget, I always put terminal like in the bottom left here, and I forget like my head is right there for the video, so I always have to like move it more towards the center. But okay, awesome. So we have Docker running right here because Docker is where our database actually lives right now. And then this is the code for the actual Vapor backend. We've already written everything, so we don't actually need to do anything with that. And then this is our iOS app, which get log-1. The last one was November 25th. So that was like Thanksgiving, I believe. And Docker needs to update. We will do that later. Kevin, also useful when watching videos relating to coding. You can just watch right away without any interruptions. Honestly, I feel that because I didn't get Spotify Premium for like the longest time ever because I was like, you know what, I'll just deal with the ads. But like after I got it and didn't have ads, I was just like, this is pretty nice. I see why people do this. But okay, here we go. So let's run the app and see what it looks like. So we have that running. Ooh, we need to run the server. So the server, there's like two parts to it. We have the database itself running right here. And then we need to actually run the server, like the API part of it. And then our iOS app, once we hit run, that will talk to the server. So if we type Swift run, this will get it all up and running. Also, are you ready? Here, I'm going to switch it really quick. I hope this works. There we go. Look at my new mug that I have. Oh, there we go. It says, look at you being a magical new business owner with a unicorn on it. One of my friends, who I actually have contracted with throughout part of the year, was the one who gave it to me. So it was super exciting. It was a holiday little gift, which is perfect. Okay, I'm checking. Okay, I'm gonna have to also add a new social media link across the top of my channel. Comment the emoji if you know which one it is, because I haven't edited my stream lately. But also for everybody, return TP, stream is looking good. Very cool mug, of course. Aw, thank you so much. It's so exciting. I've been using it like since I got it. Ooh, look at that pretty elephant. I'm so sad, like, even though I'm on a Mac, why do the emojis not show up as like the right emoji? Like the actual style emoji of like iOS as opposed to the like web style of the emojis. Also here, I'm gonna drop this so everybody is aware. I have a Buy Me a Coffee link, which, hey Johan, how's it going? And here's my Buy Me a Coffee link. So you are welcome to buy me a coffee if you would like. It is just like, I'll drop the link for this. And basically, if you buy me a coffee while I'm on stream, I have alerts set up so that like you will actually see it that way. I always forget which way. You will see it that way, like on my screen pop up and like your name if you want it to be there. And then I also added more to my bio rather than just saying my job. You can do a membership if you would like, because I saw you could just set this up. You can have like a $2 a month like membership support, basically. So like if you would like to do that, feel free. I don't know if that comes up in stream alerts, but it is a monthly rather than like a one-time. Hey Johan and viewers. Yeah, lots of fun people. And then the last thing with the Buy Me a Coffee, which is pretty cool, they have a wish list feature. So this is like, you can donate towards a specific item rather than just like in general. So I just added this one. It is a Rodecaster Pro. So the whole goal of it is $300 because it's a lot of money. And you can contribute however much you would like. I don't know if this would show up on stream. It would be pretty cool. We will see. But if you do, here is, wow, this did not, there's no line break right here. That's funny. So what this does is when this item is fully funded, I will start a podcast. And this podcast would most likely be about iOS development, freelancing, content creation, and more. And when you do donate towards this item specifically, I have a document I will write down like any topic that you would like to talk about within dev or content creation or anything. Let me know what that topic is. I'll write it down and you will definitely have an episode about that topic. So that's there if anybody wants to contribute to it. It's like everyone can see how close it'll be to getting funded. I don't know if there's any more stream alerts about that specifically, but I know there are stream alerts set up for just this generic Buy Me a Coffee one, which is cool. So I dropped the link to that if anybody is interested, but it's cool seeing what all is available on Buy Me a Coffee, mainly because my YouTube channel is not monetized yet. So we will get there. So keep watching the stream and you will help me slowly get to YouTube monetization. But okay, that sounds good. Here is the app that we have built so far. So we have, it's a normal expense tracking app. So the dashboard view is not built, so it's just a normal dashboard. Income also doesn't have anything. Expenses also has nothing yet. But what does have something is settings. So if we go to settings, you'll see in the console that printed down here on the server, we did two fetches. We fetched categories and accounts. And that's all of these items and all of those expense categories. So it did one fetch to fetch everything here. And then on the SwiftUI side, we then filtered out income and expense into the two separate ones. And then lastly was accounts were created. So what we did last stream was click like create income category. And if we add something here, it will add, oh, does it still do that weird animation? Yeah, it does. When we add when we add a new income or expense category, that will automatically be added to our list and be refreshed. But now we need to do create account. So nothing happens here, and we are, I believe, going to combine these. I wrote myself a note. So if we look at this, this is an app called Linear. It's the board I use to track all the different tasks for everything, and I remember I was looking at this. We are going to do create and read accounts, and it says look at comment because the comment is down below in case I just like looked at this and started going. But look at comment. The comment that I wrote for myself was use create category view rather than create account view. Yes, because this is one view, and if we go here and create account, this is a different view. So there's no reason to have them separate, so we are going to put those together now. So let's get going and do that. I'll keep that right there. It can just float on the bottom. Okay, so we had create category view. I'm gonna just stop it and then open it because it doesn't need to actually run. So that is this one. But what do we call it? Because it's not going to be create category view. It's going to be create income and expense categories. So what should we call that? The hardest part of programming is actually naming. Because we have income and expense categories, and then we have accounts, and we'll be using the same view to create all of these things. What do we call things? It's the hardest part. Compounded category? That's not bad. Because it's category, it'll create a category or it will create a count. Because it could always just be create category account view, but I don't know. Because I don't want to call it create item, because that will probably be used later. Sorry, I meant to say it's Tom from London. Gotta go now. The app is looking great. Yeah, for sure. Thanks for stopping by. I will see you. Yeah, for sure. I remember your handle now. Yeah, definitely catch me on the next stream. I am not 100% sure if I'll be streaming next time because I think it's like the day before Christmas or like 2 days before Christmas. Yeah, it's like the day before Christmas Eve. So it's a solid maybe, but if I'm not doing anything, I probably will. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. I'll chat with you like on Twitter or wherever. What do we call this view? Like, I'm like, I can't start any programming because I can't think of what to name something. Okay, we're just gonna go. I like compounded category, but that makes me. I feel like that could be like something more in depth with the categories themselves, like, you know, start getting into like subcategories or something, which could totally happen at some point in time, but just not right now. So let's just go with create category account. I don't like it, but if anybody throughout the whole stream can think of a better name, please let me know. Okay, let's do create category account view. Let's build it, everything, make sure it all builds. Okay, it builds. Let's just commit the renaming. I commit a lot, which is not a bad thing, but I do commit a lot. So we are going to go ahead and commit this. So git commit. Change name of create category view to create account view. Okay, that has been changed. Okay, where was create account? Let's just close everything because we kind of don't need it at the moment because we did all the setup last time. And we had a create account view, and I think, yeah, it's set up to do nothing. So let's just delete it. Move to trash. It is out of here. Okay, when we go to create account, this actually comes from settings view, so we do need this one open. So we go from settings to is showing new category. Oh, okay, we took away this one. So we could probably then get rid of is showing new account because it's going to show the same thing. So we're going to have to rename that variable. This is going to then be is showing new category dot toggle, but let's rename this one now. Is showing new category account view. That's such a long name. Is GST a terminal alias? Yes, it is. So that's the terminal alias for get status. GD is the alias for get diff. And GCO is the alias for get checkout. And those are the main ones that I use. This, I believe, all came in when I use OhMyZSH. Which is this thing. I'll drop the link for this. It's omyz.sh, and it basically, it does like this styling part of it. So it says unleash your terminal like never before. So you can like style it like this and do like stuff that's like super in depth. All mine does really is I use like one of the default themes, and the little lightning bolt comes up when there have been changes. I have something like caught in my throat. Hang on, I'm gonna mute the mic. Okay, that was obnoxious. But this is what I use. You can install it with a curl command, which is super cool. You just copy this whole curl command and install it. It's on 2 lines because I made this so short. So yeah, you just copy this, drop it in terminal anywhere, and paste and hit enter, and it will install. I think you have to restart terminal after you do that. And then I use fig.io, and that's what gives me the, what do you call this? Autocomplete. So it looks like if I did like CD to something, like this autocomplete coming up is fig. Are all of those aliases built or baked in by default? I believe they are. I think they are. Pretty sure. But you can also create your own. Like I created one called LOC, which is lines of code. So I can see how many lines of code are in my project. There's 684 lines total in the project right now. So we're still less than 1,000. Okay. We have renamed the thing. What else do we want to do? Oh, we have to change what we're going to. So when we go to this property, we are saying we give it the viewModel.category type. And we change, when do we change that category type? We change it when, here, we change it when we do in this. It'll be either income or expense. Is it an optional property? Do we make it optional? So we have name, that's the text field. That will do that. Create income. That is this wording. Okay, category type. No, that is not optional. So we could either make it optional and then check for the optionality before we go and create something, or it doesn't really matter which one we choose. We could just pick one of them and then instead, what was it? Instead, pass something random and then have a different boolean for if it's an account, which I kind of don't like that much, but I think I might do it. They seem useful. You've only made one alias so far that is combines get add and get commit. Ooh, did you know that there's already an alias for that, Johan? You could just do, so what have I changed? I'm just changing variable names. So you can do get commit -am, and that is get add and message already. So if we do change is showing variable. There we go. That's already done. Yeah, I would say look up the aliases for stuff because there's like a million of them. So I bet a lot of Git related ones especially, there's probably already an alias for it. But yeah, like Jay mentioned, that's another one as well. Oh, that's funny. ZSH came up as like it could potentially be harmful. And Jay, I'm actually about to message you on Discord. Yeah, Johan, definitely just look at what's available because with Git, because it's something that's been used so much, like, it's everywhere. Or there's a bunch of them. Okay, we have done that. Yeah, like GP, that's push. So, okay, what do I want to do? I could have one category, because the category type, this is an enum, yeah, of income and expense. And let's change the binding. So this binding is showing new category, but in settings, we named it to is showing new category account view. So let's change that one, and we'll have to change the call site. Build, does that build? Failed still. Oh gosh. Yeah, you like using Git CLI more, so learning these things, we'll definitely look through those. Oh yeah, Jay just dropped a cheat sheet. Yeah, I use Terminal mainly because you can tell when I'm coding, I can type very quickly or way faster than like your average person. And because of that, it's faster for me to just click over here, start typing, rather than go into a GUI, like click add files, then click like on the message and then start typing. Cannot find, oh. Okay, build succeeded, there we go. Just freaking out for a minute. Gotta run to get coffee, you'll be back soon. Okay, have a good coffee run, I will talk to you later. Oh no, this line is too long. Yeah, this line is getting really long. Let's do, hit enter there and there, then that should be fine. Yeah, because I have SwiftLint running. Yeah, swiftlint.yaml. Because of that, that's where that warning came from. Let's see. So we've changed the variable name. Now we could either pass an arbitrary category type and use it or not, or, and then add a new property for, is it the account view? Or, create a new property that has like these three in it inherently. I like that one better. Let's do that. Okay, what do we want to call this? Let's just call it an enum. Category account view type. I don't like this. But we're gonna go with it. So we have case income, expense, and case account. Okay, we're gonna call this title, or var title. I am totally not typing that right. String. Switch on self. Oh wait, I think there's autocorrect that comes up for this, I believe. There we go. Okay, if we want it to be called income, now we could actually do return income, return expense, and return account. Hey Ivars, how is it going? How's your afternoon? Okay. You had a nap, so you were great now. Oh, I love naps. Naps are the best. we are modifying this view right now. So we used to have 2 views. So if we go to create account, this was a whole separate view, but instead I'm just deleting that view and instead adding the functionality into this view. So this is actually going to do like 3 different things. Hey, any recommendations for unit testing? Yes, in fact, I have an entire series about unit testing. It's not on my channel, it's actually on Code with Chris's channel, but if you go to here, if you go to my channel, select on playlist, there's this one I called Other Tutorials by me, and you click View Full Playlist. Here is the unit testing playlist that I did for Code with Chris's channel. So I will copy the link and drop that. For TDD, I go over what is TDD. I'm trying to think if I actually do it in the series though. I want to say maybe. I think I maybe do it once. Actually, I think I do. You can go check the video. I think it's like one of the last videos. You can check it and report back here to let me know if I go over that, because I want to say I do in one of the lessons, in like the last lesson. Okay, so we have created this title. So this is going to be the title. So we are gonna say create income category. This is going to be create expense category, or just create account. So right here, when we use the title, we don't even need any of that. We could just type title, and this is going to be that type. And oh, it's not just title, it's category type dot title, and this needs to be I don't like this, but we're just gonna call it view type for right now, because this view kind of does multiple things, which I don't know if that's a good or bad thing at the moment. Just don't make more bugs and you will not need TDD, right? Just don't put bugs in your code and you'll be fine. Okay, so we did that. Oh, we need category type, so this is, what do we call it, view type? The view type dot ooh, what is it? It'll be view type. No. Oh yeah, okay, we'll fix that one in a second. And we're just gonna comment out the preview, and we are going to come back to that later. Let's go and fix passing the right type here. Over here. So this doesn't have a... Okay, we do have a category type, but what we end up passing, we need to change this to be a view type. What do we want to do? You need to learn TDD badly. What for? Also, if you want to learn TDD, go and watch on Twitch. It's Q Coding, I believe, is the handle. John Reed. He literally does TDD, like streaming it on his channel. Let's see, bros. Is it Q Coding? I think it is. Yeah, just the letter Q, coding. Okay. What do we want to do? Because these are not the same types. But this doesn't need to be that type. We are using viewModel.category type. Okay. Where else are we using this? Ooh, we use that to switch though. We could do we could do category type and make it a type of category type. So for income, we would return dot income then account actually does not matter. For your dream company, in one of your dream companies follows TDD and mob programming, and that's why you want to learn TDD. Yeah, that's a good point. TDD is pretty cool. I do not do it, as you can tell, but I have unit tested one function, I think, or maybe 2 functions in my code so far. Okay, I'm gonna put a comment. This case doesn't matter. Okay, so if we do category this, if we switch this to, let's just say income, what happens? What all breaks? Oh, only one thing. So we have view type. This needs to be create category and our settings view model. Oh, we want to do type dot category type. Okay, build succeeded. So we should now be able to build it. And when we go to settings, create income. So this says create income category. This one says create expense category. And then this one also says create expense category. Why? Oh, I know why. Oh, wait, what was that? Oh, Colin, thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate it. How's it going? How's your day? Okay, so that said create expense category when it should say like create account, because right here we need to do view model dot category type. Is it category? No. Is equal to dot account. And we're probably gonna now need to change the variable from category type. So if we go back here, click create account. There we go, now it says create account. So we're gonna change the subtitle as well. From category name, this should now say like account name. But let's also change this variable. So it's our settings view model. Okay, instead of category type, this will be category account view type. Maybe it would be better to split these so then it's not like one view doing like 3 different things, but oh well. We'll keep it like that for now. Okay, so what is going on? Category account view type. Is it all breaking on this one line? What is going on? Cannot convert value of binding. So if we get rid of it. Oh, what was going on? Build succeeded. Guess there wasn't an issue. Okay, let's run it. We get create income category, which says category name. Get expense category. Oh look, that like animation glitch is not happening anymore. I need to update to Xcode 14 as well. 14.2. I have not done that yet. I'm on 14.1. Okay. So we have done all of that. Let's do the last thing is create a subtitle. Or no, what is this? Placeholder. Is a string. We are going to switch on self here. And do create, what did I call this? Category name, I think, actually. Category name, okay. And we will do that for income and expense. So we can get rid of that one, and then account, no, this says category. And this will say account name. Okay, and then that goes, where is that text field? Oh my gosh, it's right here. Prompt is view type dot placeholder text. And I think we're just gonna call it name. What's new in 14.2? What is new in 14.2? Let me open. So I use a tool called Xcodes that allows you to have multiple Xcode versions installed on your computer at once, as opposed to when you download from the Mac App Store, you can't do that. Xcode 14.2, it gives us support for 12.5. It gives us all the SDK support for the updated OSs, and I'm guessing compiles 5.7.2. Yeah, and the other one is Swift 5.7.1. So mainly that. It's just new OS support. You still have to write all code. Hey Godswill, how's it going? Oh yeah, here's the release notes. We have 5.7 updates. Oh, it fixes a known issue with localizing strings. So basically not much. Not a lot of stuff. Here is my Buy Me a Coffee link, by the way, for anyone who may have not seen it at the beginning. I'll drop that again below. If you buy me a coffee while I'm on stream, it will show up over my stream alerts that I have, which is super fun. And then I just added a new wish list as well. So I added the item, the Rodecaster Pro 2. So if this item, which is funny that it didn't, this is a big blob of text because it didn't respect line breaks. I should file a bug. But if this gets fully funded, I will start a podcast. Pin that link in the comment. Ooh, that's a good idea. I forgot that that's a thing. Pin message. Cool. So if this gets fully funded, I will start a podcast, and for anybody who donates to get this item fully funded, then I have a document I will write down any topics that somebody wants to discuss or wants me to discuss on this podcast. And basically, when you donate to this item, you can request some kind of topic for me to talk about in a podcast, and I will talk about it. Guaranteed, within reason. So no ChatGPT support then. Probably not. I still also have not looked at ChatGPT yet. I'll get there. It's all good though. Any initial names you have for the podcast? So I have a couple names that I'm thinking of. I'm gonna keep them under wraps at the moment because it depends on how I do the podcast and sort of how soon that gets funded or not, and we will see. But we will see, I would say, at the moment. I have a couple names that I've thought of. Would be fine with Copilot. ChatGPT helps in daily work already. Really? Yeah, ChatGPT is definitely one of those. I think it will be a developer tool. It will not be... AI is not going to replace humans, honestly, because to do that, humans would have to accurately describe things that they want, and humans can't do that. It's like saying we would never have car crashes because humans know how to drive, but clearly. So, that's my opinion of it. At the moment, that's my opinion. Okay, so we did all those things. Did we do everything? I can't remember. We have settings. We go to create income category. It says create income category with category name. We have create expense category and create account. Okay, cool. So let's do that. Let's commit that. Git add. See, this is why I use terminal. Look how much faster this was to me to type. Git commit. Refactor and combine view into create category account view. And there we go. Okay, so that is done. Let's now, we need to add the code behind the post request that we're going to do. So we have fetch categories and we have create category. We need to do create account. And it doesn't really have an account type. That doesn't matter. I think we just need name, which is a string. This function is going to be async. So if we go to our network manager that we made, do we have create account? We have fetch accounts. We do not have create account. Okay. So here we go. Let's start that. And where is... Okay, I'm gonna be right back and go grab my iPad because I'm gonna write something down. Okay, so what I just wrote down was I have, let me go to my website. So if you go to my website right now, I have a blog series that's actually mirroring this live stream series. So in case you don't want to watch the whole live stream and want to see what happened, you can go to my blog and see every step of everything. So like this was the very first live stream. It explains everything that's going to be happening, which is funny now. These say like Xcode 14 beta, which is now out of beta. But when I started this, it was in beta. And I did that, and then it links to the live stream itself. I do have a recap for the first video that I'm still editing since whenever I posted this, which was like July. I need to finish editing that video. Maybe that'll happen maybe next week. There's a link to the entire playlist and then all the different posts for every live stream series. And as you can see, I'm lagging behind a little bit, but you can click on all of these and then go to like the, oh, I should make that not open a new tab. That's kind of weird. But then you can go to the specific post that will show you what happened during that live stream, and then a link to the live stream itself. And if you want, you can join my newsletter as well. That gives you all the updates of everything that I'm doing, but I'm not doing that on a super constant basis right now. But here in the chat, that is the first blog post of this series. So eventually I'm going to go back and catch up on all of these because I am lagging behind by like a lot. Go to blog. Okay, the last one I did was 5 and we are now on 15. So I have 10 of my own live streams to watch. But there we go. You can look at that if anybody is interested as well. But let's go and create a new... What do we need to do? We just need to make a new function for create accounts. Oh my gosh, create ACCOUNT. Name, and it's async throws. Okay, so what is the URL? Let me switch it to this real quick because I need to open something that I can't remember if it's showing freelance code or not. Yeah, it totally is. Okay, so we are going to be doing a post request on accounts. And what I just brought up was this. So this is Postman. I use it for writing down all of and testing the API and everything. So we want to do a post request for creating a new account. So we just, need the name and that is it. So that's super simple. Have I created the endpoint for accounts? I have. Look at that. Okay, and then we just need to do try await http client.send data to URL the object we are sending. Ooh. Do I have an account object? I probably do. Yes, we have an account object. So we have to create an account out of this account object. We're gonna send nil and see what happens, and the name will be name. So that is account, and we were doing http methods.post.raw value. Let's see what happens when we send nil for the ID, because the database creates the ID. So we have create account created there, so we need to just call it. So now we do catch. We are not doing error handling because who needs that? We're just printing all the errors right now. Well, maybe I should go back and do that. Do I have a ticket for that? Let's see. If we search error, no. Let's create a new task. And I also added templates. So generally, a lot of these are just like one-line words, which I might make this one too. But this is like a very official design template for creating features and bugs. So you can like easily create new tickets using a template. But we are going to delete it for right now. And we're going to do error handling. And this will not be an improvement, but it will be an improvement, not a feature. And let's just call iOS for right now. This is an app called Linear. So if we go to linear.app, this is the application that I use. And it is beautiful. It's so pretty. I absolutely love it. And they're in works right now making an iOS app, and I am super psyched. I cannot wait. I like ping them on Twitter about it because I'm just like, please make this iOS app, and I hope it's good. Okay, we have error handling, and let's specifically call out better error handling in settings view model. Okay, let's call it settings view model. In better error handling around network requests, because that's always a good thing. And I'll call out settings view model because this is the one that I see that we're just printing it, so we will go back eventually and have better handling throughout like the whole thing. But let's go ahead and just create the issue right now. So it exists, it's there. Let's now call our function that we just created. So try await network manager dot create account and pass in the name. I'm gonna make that shorter. Let's put an underscore here so we can omit the name parameter. And it looks like that, which looks prettier. And then inside of our function, we eventually have to call this create category. Ooh, okay, so we are gonna have to switch on this. Switch on view type. Okay, so if we do either income or .expense, we can call that function. Otherwise, if we do account, we have to call await settings .create account, and this would then also be name. And then once that completes, we can do show that is equal to false. Okay, let's run it and see. So we can fetch our accounts. I think we have to update the view as well. I can't remember. So if we go to get accounts, hit send. If we bring this up, we can see we have 3 accounts, checking, savings, and investment, and we see those 3 right here. Now if we go to create account, let's create a new account. What do we want to call it? We have checking, savings, investment, taxes. Hit create. Okay, that automatically dismissed. This did not update, but let's hit send. But it did get created in the database. Okay, cool. So let's commit what we have because it's being created. No, we'll wait till we finish this. It's being created, but the view is not refreshing. What did I do to make the view refresh? I think I just called a... Okay, on disappear, we need to do call view model dot fetch accounts. So there we go. If we go and go to settings, we have our 4 accounts. Now let's make another fictional account. What else do you have? Rainy day account. We hit create, that gets dismissed, and look at that, rainy day has been created. There we go. Well, that's what I had planned for this stream, and we did that in an hour. Let's keep on going, though. Okay, what did I change? We added our create account. Git commit create account sends data to the server. Oh no. Is it because I put an exclamation? Okay, there we go. Hey David, how's it going? How's your day? Well, we just completed what we were trying to work on, which was when we click create account, if we were to type an account name there, it gets created and is added to our accounts. So that is done. I'm debating on when I want to add. Oh, did we complete the ticket though? We did. Check. Okay. Erase our comment, and we are going to mark this ticket as complete. Done. Awesome. Okay. Ooh, what did that do? I just saw something. When we go to issues... Aw, hey David, thanks for subscribing. I appreciate it. I was looking at something. Where was it? Create read accounts. Okay, so this went from being, what do you call this? It went from being red to being green. I think because I created them as this ticket blocks it. Let's see. Oh, that's funny. I have welcome to linear still in here. Okay, if we go to all of our active tasks, that shows us everything in to do. That just say create tabs. Oh yeah, we'll do that later. What else do we have to do in this? We needed to do... Don't let users type empty spaces. We might do this one. Because let's see. Can we type empty spaces here? Yeah, okay, let's work on this one real quick because it should not take terribly long. Put this one in progress. And basically we just have to trim white space. So we are going to do that one. And then probably go in and Oh, yeah, that's what that did. No longer blocked by this. That's cool. We need to think of what we're doing next, and we might bring up the sketch that we're working on. Okay, let's think of how do we trim the white space on this. Because we disable the button if it's empty, but spaces count as not being empty. So let's go to Google and type trim white space SwiftUI. Of course, go to Hacking with Swift and that does it. Okay, that just trims the white space from white space and new lines. Okay, where do we put that? Because we just disable the button if it's empty. Oh, if we do name, I think we can tack this together. Trimming, what is that? Trimming characters. White space and new lines. Okay, I think that will actually do it. Yo, if that was a one-line change, that's the easiest ticket this project will probably ever have. Yep, there we go. So we can write a bunch of spaces, and our button is not activated, but once we start typing, there we go. And, ooh, let's check this real quick. Let's make a new income category. We add a bunch of spaces and then test. When we hit create, oh, yeah, it kept all the white space because we're only trimming it on this disabled part. We're totally not trimming this on the actual name that we pass and send. So let's do that right there. And technically we can make this shorter by using one extra variable, but it's not that important to me. Does that create the... Yeah, this line is really long. We'll just add a little line break right there. Is that one really long? Oh my goodness. Wow, that's a really long line. Okay, we'll make it into a variable because that annoys me. Let name is equal to name dot trimming white space and new lines. So that can go back to just being name. And that will use the name. That's right there. Okay. When I did create account, settings view model. That's the network manager, settings VM. I'm gonna add an underscore there so when we do create account, we don't need it to say name and then name again. There we go. Okay, so let's go to settings. Let's now type a bunch of white lines again. No white space. Okay, hit create. And there we go. Now there's no white space. And all of these are going to exist right now because eventually we need to add delete. Or I could go and delete it manually from the database, but let's mark this as done because that was quick. What is this? EX49. No white space. N. Okay. So I'm not really tagging any of my commits with the actual objects of like stuff that I'm working on, or not objects, like the tickets that I'm working on. Partially because it's just me and that's also why I'm not doing any branching. If it gets more intense, maybe then I will branch, but right now I'm not. And we are doing that. So that was done, which was nice. What do we want to work on? What do we want to do next in this project? Ooh, that made a scratching noise. Let's see. Where's my sketch? I have everything. Oh my goodness. Okay, looking at my sketch of what we were working on. We have done that part. I think the next thing to build, which we have a little bit of time. GitHub Projects also has a Kanban style board to work with tasks, and that's what you're using to track issues. Yeah, this one does too. You can change this to this button. So this one is like the list button, and this is the board button. So here we go. Here's a whole Kanban style, which is super nice. So this has it as well. It's linear.app. This app is great. I absolutely love it. It's nice that you can connect that into like your GitHub project. Like when I use Brainmarks, which is my open source iOS app that I have, then I can definitely connect like a PR to a certain issue. But for this, because it's just myself, I don't do that. And this tool is beautiful and I love it. So let's see, next thing to work on. It's either we are going to do creating a new expense object, which right here we would have to show our list of expenses and then do the actual creation. So I think we're going to do that. Do I have CRUD expenses? I do. So we are going to break this up. Can we do... Okay, so yeah, I'll break it up because I don't care that much about having sub issues unless it's like something kind of big. So let's call this create/read expenses, if I can spell it right. And so this one will have this, and then a new one for... Oh, why is blank? Okay, I need to make like a blank template. Let me move this because I'm not sure if it shows anything. Super secret templates. Okay. So now when I go to create, oop, not bug, blank. Okay, here we go. So this is update/delete expenses. And this is update and delete for the iOS app, and it's a feature. And then we have update delete expenses, and then we did create read. Okay, so we have create read, and then we just split it and made it update and delete. Okay, investigate animation glitch. This is definitely an issue with the simulator. Because it's not happening anymore, so I'm gonna mark that one as done. I remember seeing it. Ooh, what is this? Multi-column income and expense list. What was I looking at over there? Oh, there it is. What did this one do? Let's see. What does it look like? Here we go. We have the screen. Is it gonna navigate anywhere? Oh, okay. Multi-column. Oh, that's what that was. It's like a table, like, UI. Do I wanna play this at 2x? Is it gonna do anything else? Okay, let's pause it right here. I'm gonna screenshot this. Oh no, which one was that? Which item was it? Where did I just find that ticket? Income expense list. This is what it is. Let's drop that picture into here so I don't have to go back to the video and remember what it was. Okay, there we go. We are doing that. Because that was, I think, going to be like something somewhere. So we have authentication. We have that one that we're not doing. All the charts. Eventually we have to find the difference between which one we're going to do right there. Jay's suggestion was a default local currency. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Deploy to beta testers, credit income. Okay, let's break up this one. We don't need this anymore because we know that we are going to do create/read income. And then we have, am I actually making a separate, I'm making 2 redundant tickets. I might be. Okay, we have expenses and then income. Okay. Going down, we have create setup. Ooh, eventually I do want to set up Xcode Cloud. I think that'll be really fun. Create tabs and deploy the backend. Okay, so let's work on for the next 40-ish minutes or so. Let's look at, do we want to do expenses first or do we want to do income? Let's look at the models. Do we have not created them over here. So let me open the backend project, and inside of here we have our models for, ooh, it's fetching all the packages. Oh no. Don't freak out. There's so, look how many packages are in Vapor. It's like kind of crazy. Okay, we have income, has a lot of fields. I think expense does have less fields. Yes, I would say let's do expense or start working on expenses because it has less fields. Given that though, we have to show our expenses. Do we have any in the database right now? If we do get expenses, oh, we need to start the database again. Swift run. There we go. Now it's on. Hit send. Okay, we do have a couple expenses. We have 2 of them listed there. So when we actually properly fetch them, we will see something. And one thing, this category, this could totally live inside of here, but that's okay. So here we go. Let's go with reading expenses. Did I even make a list of what that's gonna look like? I don't think, it looks like I haven't even sketched what that'll look like. I just have the create screens. So on, okay, so actually, let's also look at this on I have an iPad error, so let's run it. I'm gonna switch it to me really quick because I don't know if my freelance project is built onto this simulator and I don't want to show it. Ooh, it is, so good thing I did not show it. Delete app. Okay, so we go back here. This is what it looks like right now. Let's actually turn it sideways because it looks better, I think. So if we get a dashboard, we see dashboard view, and then this goes away. We see income, we see expense, and then settings. Shows us all of this stuff properly. And I already have the, hang on, I already have the endpoint. I'm gonna delete that test one, it's kind of annoying me. We have patch categorized. Ooh, do I even have delete? If we go to our category controller. Oh, we don't even have an endpoint for delete. That's funny. Because, which makes sense, we don't have an endpoint for delete because we don't actually want to delete it on the user facing side. We are technically just archiving it. So for me to delete that one, I would have to delete it out of the actual database, which I'm not going to do right now. But if we look at the iPad, we see income, expense categories, accounts. But what I was going to do was, let me go back over here real quick. Okay, my Stream Deck is not working. That's nice. I'm bringing up the project, the sketch that I had. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so this is what the sketch actually looks like. So what we have done was this. We actually, instead of making an actual collapsing list like this, we zoom in, come on. There we go. Instead of making it like we have to expand categories, then click income, and then go over and see the list, I was like, there's no reason to go further into the navigation when we don't need to, so let's just show everything on settings for right now. So that's what we did during one of the streams, and then we go and create category. But the expenses side right here was going to just look like, if we go to expenses, there's nothing there. We are going to have a graph with the bar chart that breaks down what all categories each expense is in, but I don't actually have a sketch for a list of expenses, which would be way easier before we get into the whole charting stuff. We just have this that's going to be used for the pop-up for creating new expenses. So where would this list live? So right now, if you click on expenses, you would see this, this graph. Should I add a button somewhere, do you think? That would be like a button on the left here or something that says like list, and this whole view would change from the graph to a list. User may like to delete a wrongly created category. Yeah, but delete, what I'm going to do is make delete look like archive. Because of the fact if somebody does create a category and then they add expenses or income to that category and then they delete it, technically those expenses would get deleted with it, because when you fetch them, you'd only want to fetch things that are like not archived. So it'll always just look to it will look like the user on their side that they delete something, but in reality, in the database, it's gonna just archive. But I could change that so that there is like two separate actions, but then that goes into like users not understanding what archive actually means. And then I still have data for if the user, if they end up creating two separate categories and then realize, oh wait, I actually want to merge these categories together. If I delete it, then I can't do that, versus if I keep them, then I have the data where they can be like, oh yes, merge these together, and then I can do something on the back end that like merges all of those under a single category. Is the idea of what I was going for with that. Where do I want to put this expenses list? Cool stuff. Sounds good. Yes. That is the, first 3 to 4 videos of this series was just planning, and that's what I had decided during that plan. Okay, we want to see a list of expenses. Let's just make a list of expenses for right now and worry about this graph part about changing what the view is going to look like later. So let's see if we can get that done in a half hour. How did I make this mockup? I used an app called Mockup, which, let me find the link to that. I have it on my phone. So if I copy that, I absolutely love that you can copy, what is that called? Handoff. You can copy a link on my phone and then put it onto, like, paste it on my computer. That is beautiful. Okay, so here is the Instagram handle for that application. Let me double check that works. Yeah, there we go. So this is mockup.app. So they have a link to their app right here, but this is the app. A guy named, is it Hassan, who makes this app? He makes this app and it's super, super nice. The task tracker, that is linear right here. Godswill, do you think it would be interesting if I made a blog post of all the tools that I use, like the software and stuff? Do you think that would be interesting? Yeah, and I can add all the links. I do already kind of have links. I have a software kind of links page. So if you go to my website, and I have to spell my name correctly. If you go to my website, there is this links page. This is the one I put like in my link in bio for like Instagram and Twitter and everything else, which just shows you the, actually not the latest YouTube video because I have to change that. I might put the playlist there. You can sign up for my newsletter. These are some apps that I use, all my social media handles, everything on my desk. So this, is where I'm sitting right now. I need to update this picture. That's my old phone. That's my good old 10S. I have a new phone now. I have links to these things that I use, like Code with Chris Plus, Get Kraken, which is the GUI that I sometimes use, and then my blog post, but I don't have a specific software links page, but I could definitely make a blog post of that. Let's do, that's my links page. Let me write that down though, so I don't forget. What did you, use this page. Okay, there we go. It is written down. You notice your website is built with WordPress. It is. Do you have a plan on rebuilding it using new tech stacks soon? I would love to rebuild my website, but I do not have the time to rebuild my website right now. And it's simple, so I'm like, it just works. Yes, I would love to rebuild my website because I low-key don't like WordPress because I'm not a fan of PHP. But so whenever I have time to do that, which I don't, and then that requires hosting it, which my friend has a WordPress website, and they have to pay for a certain tier because of how many visitors they have. And I don't have that many visitors on mine, so like they just let me host on their instance for free. So that's super nice. So I just host it there for right now. Yeah, and if it works, great, perfect, exactly. I'll update it eventually because I don't like WordPress, and it there's a lot of reasons. WordPress is not my favorite. You are using Squarespace because it makes sense to spend 0 time on support. 100%. I didn't like how much Squarespace costs for making such a simple website, but the fact that you can add like your store and everything into it for like practically free, meaning like it's really easy. Squarespace is a really good website. I used to use Weebly a long time ago, before I built my own website, because briefly I did build my own website, and then went back and made it into WordPress. Okay. We only have a half hour before I'm probably gonna go. Before you had to self-host a WordPress, paying someone to take care about that is way more efficient. Yes, it definitely is. Like, it's funny that WordPress is the site that like a lot of bloggers tell other bloggers to like make their website on, when in reality, like, it's relatively difficult to set up, and you have to be like, well, what does hosting a website mean? As opposed to like use Squarespace or Weebly or something, and it's like they do it for you. But those cost more, so that's why people have to figure out how to host their website. But I would love to rebuild mine in Vapor. I think that would be super fun, but I don't have time to do that right now. Okay, so we need to list expenses. Let's look at our expense view. Let's stop running both of these. I'm gonna just close the iPad. We don't need that one. And you'll see I'm building this for iOS and iPadOS at the same time. So when it deploys, it'll be on both immediately. Hey Paul, how's it going? I remember trying to pronounce your name and not pronouncing it correctly. And then you were like, Paul is fine. It's like close, I remember, but it's not exact. But thanks for dropping by. Let's do expenses. Okay, we did settings. Let's close all of our settings stuff and open expenses. And here we go. Here is our expense view with nothing in it. Here's the thing about SwiftUI. It's telling us collection view focus state got out of sync because the underlying of the SwiftUI was a collection view, it looks like. And I don't know what this error is about. Okay, if we're gonna make expenses, we have to read from the expenses endpoint. So eventually we're gonna need some kind of network manager. How do we do the settings? Let's open these back up and look. We had settings. We have a settings view model, and then we have our settings network manager that's inside of it. Have to go. Wait, what does SU mean? See you? Is that what it means? But yeah, either way, thank you for stopping by, Ivars. I will talk to you probably on social media somewhere. Okay, let's just start with... Ooh, what is silver stripe? What's that? Let's make an expense view model. Let's make, we're gonna have to start creating new folders. So we have views, and we will have oh, that's weird. View models. The V was like cut off. Okay, let's put expense view inside of views. Let's not have that yet. And create expense view model. And this is a final class. Is it observable object? I think it is. And then if we go here, private var view model, and this is an expense view model. Hey David, I think Ivar's just headed out. By the way, GraphQL. I have used GraphQL. It is super nice, but I did not do that for this project. I used Vapor to make the backend, and it is a REST API. Okay, let's build. Does everything build? Yes. Let's hit run, but also we're probably going to commit this. Yeah. So git add, git commit, and we are doing create expense view model and new folders. Okay, we have created that. Cool. I'm trying to think of how much we could get done in 20 minutes. We surprisingly got a lot more done in 20 minutes I thought we would, or in the first hour than I thought we would. But I think part of that is because we set up a lot of stuff the last stream. So implementing it in this one was really easy. So let's go and... So we have an expense view model. Like we have a settings view model, we created a... Excuse me. We created... where did I go? Right here. We are taking in a network manager, and the settings network manager is this. So we are going to also create an expense network manager. Where did I put this code? Oh, it's in there. Ooh, do I want to keep this in utilities, or should I put it under settings? Because it has to deal with settings. Let's move that. Let's put it under settings. Move file. Okay, so then if we are here, let's create an expense network manager. And then this conformed to, no, it didn't conform. Okay, it just took in the HTTP client. Okay, we are going to copy this part of it and create a final class expense network manager and do that. And this was in the view model. So if we look at our view model, when we did this, we have this code. So settings network manager, or no. Yeah, expense VM had this. So with that, this is a expense view model. Not view model, this is the expense network manager. And expense network manager. Now if we go to, where did we put, where is the expense view? Here we go. This has a network manager. Expense network manager takes in the HTTP client, and this one takes in networking. And there was a reason we abstracted it all like this. We did this to unit test it, so maybe that's the last thing we could do here, because we have like only a little bit of time till I usually stop streaming, because I stream for about like 2 hours or so. Let's do git commit. What do we do? We create expense network if I spell it right. Expense network manager, and that's it. Okay, we have now created all of that. So now if we run it, it'll still look the same, but there's more things behind it now. Sorry, I'm messaging back one of my friends. Okay, so Is this gonna say the line's too long? It does say the line's too long. How do we fix this? I think just made a line break right there. Did I do settings view? I did do that. Okay, let's make it consistent and make the other bracket like that. Okay, we are gonna close everything. I'm gonna just commit that, add line break, and I spelled break wrong. So I have to go back and change the commit message, git break. Okay, there we go. Let's look at the unit tests we had written, because there was a reason why we broke it all up. So we had created settings network manager tests. I think this class, ooh, let's run command U. Let's run the tests, and they fail. What happened? Oh, I think oh, we created a new function. That's what happened. Let's do send data t codable. I like that syntax better of like t : codable rather than like where t codable and encodable, or decodable and encodable. Okay, I think command U. Okay, we will fix that then. But there we go, all of our unit tests pass. Because we haven't added new unit tests. Hey Jay, what's up? I'm trying to think of what I've done. Because it's kind of, since we complete the task I wanted to complete, we completed in the first hour. So after that, I've been like, what do we do now? We've created the start of our expense view because originally I had created a whole graph, but we're not going to do that right now. So instead, we created the expense view. It has it has a view model behind it and a network manager. Oh, I want that to be on top. There we go. Oh wait, no. Okay, so at this point, this is where sometimes I will use a GUI instead. You are better now that you have coffee. Yes. Gotta live on caffeine. That's why I don't drink caffeine sometimes, because I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that energy. Maybe it's because I don't have coffee. Okay, so we want to do git restore staged. I want to take out that. So I only want to commit moving the file. So this was move file. And then now git commit. Add send data to, what was that function? Mock networking. Oh, did I forget to add it? I did forget to add it to the staging area. Okay. So, I think what I'm going to do for this last little bit is we unit tested settings network manager. Let's go, if we look at the log, not the log, the coverage. Expand this one, not content view, this one. Settings network manager is now only 50% tested, whereas previously it was 100 because we added a function. So we actually added two functions. We added create category and create account. So let's go and test those. So if we turn on the code coverage, yeah, these two are tested. These two are not tested. Let's see, how do we test these? Func test successful create category. It will probably be async throws. So we have our settings network manager. We have to give it a category type and a name, and then send something. So let's do oh, it needs a type and a name. So let's do let type is equal to category type dot income. Let name is, we are going to call it, what's one of the names we used? We did freelancing. Okay, try await. Create category, so we will add in a type in the name. And then to confirm this worked, if we have create category goes in, it sends data, which that will call this one, because we're actually mocking it right here. That's why we did all of this. We have a view model. The view model takes in a network manager, which takes in networking for the fact of when we unit test it. We have the network manager, which takes in our mock networking. Should I try streaming on YouTube today? Do it. It's a fun time. I don't know. The streaming definitely, they have better features still on Twitch at the moment, but discovery is better on YouTube which my audience is on YouTube, so it makes more sense for me to stream on YouTube. But it's not bad. I would say it's getting there. If YouTube really wants to step it up, like, I think they're in the process of really trying to make it better, which I hope they are. But, they can't get too distracted by shorts. But, okay, we have this. How do we confirm that this worked? So, we have we could actually use fetch. And we write to the file. So, we have our mock. Will this write to the file and actually save it to the file? So if we add categories, we have freelancing and subcontractors. So let's actually not use this. Let's use the word streaming. So if we do... Oh, we can't call fetch directly because we have settings network manager. We do have the client. Yeah, which makes sense. We have access to the client because that's what's used for everything. If we do this dot fetch and pass it, I feel like I'm not doing this correctly. We need to pass it this URL. And then that will go in, use our mock categories. Because when we send data, we do this basically, and then we write to it. So we actually just need to write to the file. But in doing that, when we write to the file, we have to make sure to tear it down too. You're gonna stream no matter what. You usually do Twitch, but it could be fun to try YouTube instead. Yeah, I would say do it. Do you have everything set up to do it? Because thankfully, I've only really had like 2 to 3 issues with streaming like this entire like 15 video series. So that has been good, but when you switch, I would do a test stream. Let's see, how do we want to test this? Because technically if we run it, it'll work because there's nothing happening here. So like the function that we're calling, like nothing, it doesn't do anything. How do we test writing to the file? How do we do that? You wouldn't do the chat on stream. Yeah, that's the one thing I do want to get, is some kind of plugin. So like when I click on a message or something from YouTube, I can show it like on my screen like you have. But because it's YouTube, there's like not a lot of support with it yet. So that's something I do want to do. Wait, what time are you streaming out? Are you streaming? What time are you doing that out? Yeah, it's built in Acam. I know. But I've been using OBS this afternoon sometime. Okay, I should be able to make that, I think. I have like a couple meetings today. Let's see, what is my day view? Yeah, I have a couple meetings. But I should be able to sometime this afternoon. Between 2 to 3, yeah, I'll definitely be able to make that then. You know what I should do? I'm gonna work on my, I'm saying it now, I'll work on my freelance project now, during your stream. So I can actually make progress on that. That's what I'll do. How do we test this? How do unit test? Let's do that. How to unit test writing to a file. What do people say to do? Because if you do touch the file system, your tests. What is growing object-oriented GOOS? Growing object-oriented software guide. To abstract the file system from your code, mock where class is needed as a collaborator. This keeps your unit tests quick and feedback fast. Let's ask. Let's see. Let me DM John Reed. He was the guy, we were talking about him earlier, because he is the guy to go to about unit testing. Let's just DM him and ask. Let's see, John. Ooh, should I DM? Ooh, I'm gonna DM him on Mastodon. Okay, oh gosh, I don't know what his name is on Mastodon. Is it John? Or is it Q coding? It's probably Q coding. There we go, got him. Okay. Hey John, I was streaming when network testing when unit testing okay, this instead of going to the network, I am fetching from a file, but now I want to test sending data. Do I also write to a same file or do something else? There we go, send. Let's see what he says. I don't know if he'll get back to me within the time of the stream, which I doubt it, but let's instead. So technically, if we run this, it will pass. So let's just run it and be like, it passed. Look at that. Such a good test. No, this actually doesn't do anything. John, oh, John was in your breakout room on Saturday. Hey, Dave. Oh, that's so fun. I join his streams every so often. They're a lot of fun. I basically just ask him a bunch of unit testing questions, like, throughout his whole stream, no matter what he's doing. He's a fun guy to talk to. And he knows so much about testing. Like, it's so fun. It'd be interesting to see to like do this app with like TDD, but for the fact that like you don't unit test views, you just unit test the code and logic. That's what we are doing. So like, I don't know, you kind of like can't do TDD while making like a bunch of views. Somehow he has pulled off the impossible, making unit testing cool. Yes. It is great. I honestly, unpopular opinion, I like unit testing for the fact that you can confirm everything you're doing works, and I think that's super cool. And is very like, it does give you like the developer confidence kind of thing, because I have worked in an environment where you couldn't like confirm anything, and it is slightly terrifying. But hey, Dave, while you're here, if you have talked to John, or if you know, I am unit testing a post command where typically what I would do is post new data to a server. But when I unit test it, I'm mocking that, and I'm mocking instead fetching from a JSON file for the fetch command. But what would I do for a unit test for sending data? Do I write to that same file and confirm it? Because if I write to the file, I then have to make sure to tear down part of that file so it goes back to being the same thing every time. So I'm not sure. We'll see what he says. Oh wait, I just got a message from someone who... Okay, so one of my friends is watching the stream, but they are not answering a question live. Okay, do I care about writing data or just making sure that the post works? Yeah, you don't need to write to the file. Okay, good. That's what I was thinking. Dave, sending data to where? I will be sending it to my Vapor server, where technically, like, if I were to create a... Oh, not that one. Right here. If I were to create a post request for making a new expense, then when I do this, this will then save to the database, and then all the data will be here. You wish you could get on stream. Yeah, Ferris, I wish you were here too. Ferris, that's the person I'm talking to who is messaging me. Good thing I was even looking at my phone, because honestly, I put my phone in Do Not Disturb throughout all of my streams, so I'm glad you're here. Dave, unit testing is low-key cool. You already, but John's enthusiasm for it is second to none. I agree. He makes it so much more fun. And it's honestly, like, it's one of those things, I feel like it just got a bad rep because people did it really poorly. So, or they were forced to do it, and like, then people don't like it. Because like, nobody wants to be forced to do anything, and when you are, like, it just makes you not like something more. Not sure the best solution. Let's see, what my friend had said. Usually returning 201 with that data, and I could mock that. You don't care about what the server actually does. The writing part is the server's responsibility. True. So technically, my friend is saying I could just mock the response I get back. Am I sending a response back? I think I am. I should check that. Let's see. This is the, let's add one. I don't even remember how I wrote this. This is the third expense. Let's change this date. Ooh, look, last time I tested this, it was September 30th. Let's change it to today and see what happens. And let's make it 20... What is that? $20. Yeah, because I sent it in like 100 increments. Hit send. Okay, so a successful response, I get back a 200 and I get back the object. So my friend was saying that you don't need to write to a file because it's true. We're not confirming that that works. We are confirming that the idea is to serve back the like 201. I should write that as a 201 rather than 200. And I could mock that so I don't care about what the server actually does. The writing part is the server's responsibility. That is a good point. Okay, so given that, do I want to change this so it returns a 201? I should do that for all of them because I totally know I didn't do that. So let's make a new ticket really quick, and that will be the first thing we do on the next stream is return 201 when creating on the server. So acceptance criteria, return 201. I always forget all the response codes. Return 201 when creating for, let's see, what is there? There is category, because I know it's right here. It's right here. I return the category object. That's what I do. Because first, do I need to return the actual object back to the user, or should I return the object back to the user, or just return like .201? You'll create a channel for my next stream. Aw, thanks. You'll create a YouTube channel just to comment on my stream. I appreciate it. Okay, let's do, this is actually a Vapor task, and it is an improvement. So we have slash categories, and we have expense. I know I definitely don't do it. Okay, I think I do it for all of them. So let's just do slash categories slash expenses. We have slash income and slash account. Okay, so let's do that like first thing next stream, and I'm gonna mark it as like in progress, so it's like at the top, so I remember that that is what we will work on. For right now, I'll just unit test this, how it works at the moment. So if we do this, do I even do anything with this object that's returned? I don't think I do. No, so technically what I should do is get back, because when I use send data, I think what I do is get back that's the protocol. Oh, I could have seen that. That said protocol. So if we go to networking, yeah, we should probably do something so we know that we're getting back something good, which is probably why I have a to-do here that says, that says to do something. Usually it's good practice because it includes the ID of the object. That is a good point. So when I write Vapor, let's see. So here I did create expense and I'm returning the expense to return the because this automatically, when we returned expense, it gave us a 200 back. For me to return the response code of a 201 and the expense, do I need to do something different? I think I do. Or can you do that, like, can you return both of them at the same time? And I know at some point I should return, somebody commented on my channel, I should return 204 no content somewhere. I can't remember where they said. Yeah, so right here, when we delete, we are returning HTTP status of OK, which is 200. This one probably could be. Here they are. Case 200. Oh yeah, 201 is created, I know. 400s are bad. 500 are our server errors. Okay, created, okay, accept, I think it would just be 204, like no content, I think is what would be the proper one to return back from a delete, but I'm not sure. Okay, so Ferris had said that I should return a client response back. Oh, and then link the Vapor docs, let's do it. Okay, let's bring that up. Copy link. Where's Safari? See, this is what's super fun about streaming. And first, you'll probably see when... I think I am going to stream next Friday. It's like right before Christmas, but I think I'm still going to do it. What's fun about streaming and doing everything live is that you get input from people like while I'm live, and they can tell me how to do things. A couple streams back, I was working on the Vapor server and I could not get something to work. I was like working on it for like the last hour, and then I finally ended up posting in the Vapor Discord, and then Tim Condon, like the guy who runs Vapor and everything, he was the one who came onto my stream and was like, hey, you just need to do this, and it was like adding $1 somewhere, and he fixed everything, and I was like, I'm so glad you were here, because I was working on it for forever. Okay, so Furious said that I should return, so right here, when we do create expense, I'm saving the expense to the database, that's what I'm doing here, and then I'm just returning the object, which by default we can see in Postman. This is just returning back 200 and the expense object. But he says I could return the client response. And Ferris was a guy who I met at the server-side Swift conference that I just went to. So this conference, like all about Vapor, I just went to this conference and was speaking there too. But he was also one of the other speakers and schedule. There he is. That's his profile picture. Oh, profile picture doesn't come up, so that's all you see. But had a lot of good info and a lot of people I talked to, which was super fun. Okay, so I should return. How does this work? Client response. Is client response an object then that I return? Let's see. Oh, it is. There we go. Client response. Do I need to give it anything, or is it just like a thing? Just the main struct is fine. See ya, Dave. Have a good rest of your weekend. Thanks for dropping by. Okay, so if we have a client response, does it have then... Okay, let's create... I don't know how to do this, but let's see. Do I create one? Oh, I do create one. Here we go. Okay, status. We are going to return. What was it? Created? Yeah, that's 201. Headers. I don't know if I need any headers. And then the body is a byte buffer, which I can see right there. And let's see. Okay, so this is encoding the body. Is this doing it itself? I don't have to do this, right? Content encoder, decoder. Ooh, do we also... Let's look at the Vapor docs. If we go to Vapor codes, the website's not updated yet. It will be. Blog, not blog, docs. This tell us how to use this? Okay, it gives us client though. Let's see, what's client tell us? And byte buffer is you pass in your data. Makes sense. Let's do that. Let data equals. Oh gosh, knocking everything over. Byte buffer. I don't know what allocator means. What is? It sounds like alligator. It's an allocator. This is me coding. This is what I think of while I'm doing this. Does it tell us anything we need to do with that? I can't see. I can't tell. Basics. Client. Does this tell us anything? Okay, that's funny. So, Furus had made an entire mock server. That's what his whole presentation is about. And he just linked, like, hey, here's my repo. This line. Look at this line. This is the thing I need to return. So let's look at that. And I'm gonna look at this more in depth. I really want to use something like this. Okay, line 99. Oh, look at that. So pretty. Okay. So we are doing the value that we want to encode, which is our thing. Let's just erase all this right now. We want to do, actually, we're just going to mainly copy it. Guard let data is equal to try JSON encoder dot encode. We want to encode the expense object. Else, if it fails, we throw a server error, which makes sense. Return client response, which that's what we were trying to return, right? I think so. Yeah, that's what we were using, was client response. Ooh, internal server error. That was a 500 then. And then okay, so we have a body is nil. Does the byte buffer allocator have to be nil? It looks like it could be. Let's just not include it and see what happens. And then the headers. So he has network exchange response headers, removing that. Which network exchange is We were down here. Network exchange is a network exchange object. So I'm guessing it exists somewhere in the project. So if we open your project again and search for network exchange in the repository. So you can use the search bar if you saw like the, whatchamacallit, if you saw the search thing that came up, this searches like throughout this repo, which is super nice. So like we looked up network exchange, and then we found the file right here. Here's the structure, and we can see like what this is. Okay, so he had mentioned though what I can return instead, so I can just return an empty dictionary. Cool. Okay, so if we do that, and then if we were back over here on line 99, otherwise we make a byte buffer. Oh gosh, what is going on? Okay. Let byte buffer is equal to byte buffer. Oh, there's a data. Okay, so there's data and dispatch data, which I don't know what dispatch data is, but yeah, encoding something, this returns data. So we just throw in our data object there. And then we could return client response and get all of those things back. Our status would be created for 201 headers. I don't know if we need those, so I'm going to put empty again. Now here's our byte buffer that we can return. Oh my goodness, typed the wrong thing. Byte buffer. There we go. And delete that. Let's see what happens. You probably need content type. Okay. We'll add that. If you're returning JSON, yes. Let's build it. I haven't built this project in a hot second, so it's building. Oh, okay. So then he's creating the status to return here. This has been so fun. I'm glad you joined the stream, Firas, because I would probably not have figured out how to do this in this amount of time. Okay, build succeeded. So it succeeded, but it may not work. So let's add that. Content type, and then it is application-json. So let's run this. I had it running. Let's run it in Xcode. Hopefully it will work. We will see. Here we go. Well, it builds. That's one step further to working. Okay, that's running. Let's create a fourth expense. Okay, let's also send today. Let's send a different hour amount. Let's make this a random number. Hit send. Ooh, there we go. We got back, and we see it right here. This is the endpoint that was hit, was our create endpoint. We got back 201 created, and we got back our whole expense object. It worked! Yay! I'm so glad you're here. Okay, that's what I'm gonna have to do for like the rest of them. So let's also make a note here, like look at expenses, create function. There we go, create function. Cool, that is definitely what I will do next time. That's the next thing I want to add to my stream is I need like a button that says that's like, you know, celebration, like everything worked, because I don't have like sound effects or anything on my stream. But that will be the next thing that I add because that was super exciting. But there we go. Okay, so we did that. So technically what we can do, because we returned 201 on our iOS side, when we actually are looking at this and what happened when we send data, we want to get a 201 back. So if we got back 401 unauthorized, that is not good. Yeah, we need to handle error betters, and which case is a 200, and we have to check that a 200 got back. Otherwise, we want to throw. But on the iOS side, do we want to return anything from send data, or like we would have to just accept that like something was good, because then that's when we can check like return a value or something and it says like successful or something like that. So we will probably do that for next stream, is go through this, make all of those changes. That'll take a minute, and then we'll probably do create and read expense. I'm gonna just mark these as like high priority, and that will then be the next thing we do. So let's change the view to look, ordering it is by priority. Can it be like, oh, the priority is like the opposite way that I would want it. I would want like high priority should be like at the top, not at the bottom. But yeah, like priority should totally be at the top. What did I do? Status? Yeah. Okay, well, considering this one doesn't care. Let's make this a in progress, and that will also be the next thing. So the next thing we will do on stream are those two things. So let's go ahead and commit what we were doing. So we were doing git commit. Oh, you sat in some interviews yesterday and someone mentioned using linear. Ooh, that's so exciting. Linear is great. Are you gonna use it at work then, Jay? Or what, did somebody that you interviewed then mention that they use linear? Test for create category, but it doesn't assert. That is not the right spelling. Assert anything yet. We are just going to actually throw in an XCT. Is it fail? Right now, failed. If we run this, will it just say failed? Yeah, it says failed. Okay. Not asserting. So this is our unit test that is not working, so we know that like we have to do something. Okay. So let's push that to the server. And you would like for us to move away from GitHub issues. Ooh, yeah. GitHub issues, they're not bad. They've gotten a lot better, but I really like linear. The number of issues causes you stress. I feel that. I have a project right now. So like when you use linear, if you go to, is it help? Or is it, I don't know where it's at. But somewhere on linear shows you how many tickets you can have for free before you have to start paying for it. I have a project, we are like right about to hit that limit. Okay, so what do we do in this? We modify create expense to return client response. Where did we go? There we go. No, where is that one? No, it's way up there. So we return client response, and we are, okay, yeah, we are saving it, which if this didn't work, it would throw, and then we are turning it into data, and then returning back the proper response. That makes so much more sense. Okay, modify create expense to return client response properly. So we return 201 and the expense object. Oh, you know what we could do? I just thought of this. Technically, we could check on the iOS side. If we get back the response right here, that means we get back an object. which I was ignoring right here. Okay, writing that down before I forget it. What was that? Okay, here. Okay, in iOS app handle send data. They definitely aren't bad, especially with projects. Yeah. I just really like how linear works. It's so pretty and it's super easy. I like it a lot. Okay, in iOS app, we are handling send data on line 40, no, not 440, 44. Don't ignore data and check that we got back. Okay, that's what we could do. Check that, make sure we got back the object because we return it. And that's how we can then pass that back over here. And then here we confirm that the objects match. Okay. Okay, and then that was in networking. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. There. And then inside of settings network manager, line 34, confirm. We get back expense and compare. There, we compare it to the one we created. And technically, given that, we have a list of expenses in here, do we? No, we don't, because this is the network manager. We could return the object completely. So if we go back over here, when we use this object for settings network manager, we are over here. Here, we could then get back the object and we have a list of our categories. And we could just append it rather than going and refetching. Let's do that. Okay. In settings view model and create category. Return, whoops. Return their expense in settings view model and create category. Append the expenses. Okay, it's actually category. Oh yeah, because we've kind of done a couple things. Okay, append the object. Okay, that's not completely written completely correctly, but it is close enough that hopefully next week I'll remember what's going on and we can write this, which maybe I don't know if I'll start streaming more. I have a lot to do. We'll see. Because this series is going to take a really long time to finish if I only stream it once a week for about 2 hours, which so far, I mean, we're on like video like 15 right now in this whole series. But if I stream it more, this will be done quicker, which we will see. But okay, we did that. So that's what we will do. First thing, let's mark this one as urgent priority. So that's the first one. Next one will be read expenses. And I'm going to just make that one no priority again because that's the next one. Because I thought we could organize, I'll have to look it up, organize by priority from like most urgent to least. Rather than like least at the top, because that's not helpful. But there we go. So what we did today, I'll turn down the music a little bit more. What we did today was I need to start the server. Here we go. Okay, if we run that, go back. Oh, create is unused. Oh, I need to go back and fix that probably. Doesn't matter though right now. So in settings, we fixed it so that when we go to create income category, we can type something and create an income category. We also can type spaces, and it's not letting us click create yet, which is a good thing. So you can't do something like that one. So this works for create income and expense, and then we added the create account. So this also uses that same screen. So we merged that from like an older screen that previously was created. And then that's basically all we did. We went over to expenses, and this view still looks the same. But in our code, we went and created the view model and the network manager that we'll need for reading expenses from the server. And then we started working on creating a unit test for our settings network manager, because in the last stream, we did add a new function for create category, and we have a new function also for create account, but these are not tested yet. This one shows it's tested because I wrote the test for it, but it doesn't actually assert that anything is like good or bad, or anything actually works. But we started writing that unit test, and then from the help of Ferris, we also started writing the create endpoints better, so that instead of just returning expense like I was doing last time, this by default returned 200, but now when we create an expense, this will save the data and then return what's called a client response, which will automatically let us pick what status code we want to return. So that lets us say right here, if there's an issue in coding our data, we can return a server error, which we might change to something else, because server means like 500 can't hit the server versus like something else happened. But then if everything worked, we can return 201, which is created, and then create what's called a byte buffer, which is just our data basically, and return the object. So if we look at it in Postman, it would look like this. We sent a post request of a new expense that we want to create, and then what we got back was a 201 created with the expense object, and that is what is in this data byte buffer thing. And that's what we did this stream. That was a lot of learning. That was super cool. The client response is probably what what I should use for like almost all of them. I might have to do that for create and update in like several of them. So let's look at that as well. So return 201 for response code, and then let's do proper response code for updating. Okay, and let's just put like all. Okay, return proper response codes. So that will be probably most of what we'll do next time, is kind of writing it better so that we're returning like proper things, and then we'll go back to the iOS app and do some more. So that's about it. Did I get back any response from John of what he had suggested? I don't think so. But Ferris gave us a pretty good idea of what we're supposed to be doing. So that is it for this stream. So thank you everybody for joining. Man, we're on like video 15 of this. So I appreciate everyone who was able to join. You can buy me a coffee on the link. It should be pinned in the chat, or it's in the description below. But thanks for joining, and I will see you all in the next video. See you next week. Bye.